Danjin is that really cute, crazy, red-haired girlfriend that you wish to have, but you couldn't get. Oh wait, that's me. Every one of you have been asking for a Danjin guy. Are you guys that crazy for her? But with that being said, in this video, we're gonna do a complete breakdown of Danjin's kit, how to play her, what's her combo, and her build. And so, after you subscribe, we're gonna start this video off with, as usual, a 20-second showcase. Danjin has an extremely berserker-like playstyle. Not only she drain her HP when she attack, but she also have no DPS downtime. That means you can always be attacking the enemy no matter what. Danjin has the highest DPS out of every 4-star in this game, can even rival most of the 5-star characters. Due to the fact that you drain HP every single time you use your skills, it's very often that you're going to be doing the entire battle with Danjin basically on life support, which means any single attack hit is going to kill you. And for that reason, she is extremely high risk of a playstyle. Danjin has an extremely simple basic attack sequence. It is just a string of 3. Every single one of these hits come out extremely fast and is very useful for parrying. On the other hand, Danjin's skill have no cooldown at all. It will drain your HP by 3% every single time you use it, but it will continue to build Ruby, which is going to be your forte circuit. Danjin's basic attack and her skill actually go hand to hand together. That's because Danjin work off a combo system instead. Doing 2 basic attack allow you to follow up with 2 skills. Your input here is going to be attack, attack, skills, skills. Attack, attack, skills, skills. Hitting an enemy with the second part of the skills will mark them with a flower, which is the inherent will, and they allow you to do 20% more damage on any enemy that are marked. Another big opportunity for you to use your skill is actually after every dodge counter. After successfully doing a dodge counter, you can immediately follow up with 2 skills. You can also do the exact same immediately after an intro. So after you do an intro on Danjin, you can immediately follow with skill 1 and then skill 2. It is actually worth noting that the dodge counter on Danjin is the highest damage skill out there, since it has 40% times free scaling compared to your first hit with only at 36%. But more importantly is that with the first passive unlock, your dodge counter will increase your skill damage by another 20%. This means that dodging on Danjin is actually a DPS gain. And for high skill player out there, you're probably really happy to hear this. Your second Danjin combo follow a similar concept, except this time will be 3 basic attack followed by 3 skills. So your input will be attack, 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 skills, skills, skills. And you notice that the attack is completely different. While these 2 attacks look similar and have similar input, they're considered to be completely different skills. The one in the 2-hit combos does less damage, but it allows you to mark the enemy to do more damage to them later, while the one in the 3-hit combo do more damage in general, as well as generate more forte circuit. Now it is worth noting that you can actually substitute the first basic attack in your combo sequence with a skill instead. So instead of doing basic, skills, a possible sequence you can actually do is skills, attack, skills, skills. Or likewise for the 3-hit combo, skills, attack, attack, skills, skills, skills. And you can see it triggered the exact same. When it comes down to in combat, you always want to start with a skill, normal, skills. This allows you to mark the enemy extremely quickly and therefore start doing 20% more damage to them. It is worth noting that using a skill as a replacement for your first basic attack string actually do come out slower because there's a skill delay. So it is more recommended to just chain basic attack instead. What that means is after you use your skills, if you're trying to chain combo together, it is more recommended to go back to your basic attack. But if you ever break your combo, then you can do a skill startup again. If you don't want to juggle between combo, a combo you can do is actually auto E, auto E, E, auto E, auto E, E. And you just keep spamming this because exactly 2 of these will give you 60 gauge as well, which lets you do your heavy attack. Let's talk about her heavy attack, which is where most of her damage comes from. When you have more than 60 stacks of Ruby, you can do a heavy attack to do a special attack. Make sure to click a second time for the second follow-up. Having a full bar will allow you to do significantly more damage. It is either going to be half or full, so having somewhere in between half and full doesn't give you the damage increase. Only when the bar is entirely full, you get the damage increase. A good rule of thumb is that after a 2-3 combo, you can get half bar. That means you do a 1-2 and then a 1-2-3. This gives you exactly 60 Ruby and allows you to do heavy attack. If you try to go for a full bar, then doing a free string combo 3 times will fill it exactly up to 120, which allow you to do the enhanced heavy attack. This is by far the highest way to do damage if you're given the opportunity to. During combat, you won't always be able to get your combo off entirely, so it is more important to adapt to how many bar you have at the same time and decide what combo you want to do. You can actually delay your second part of the heavy attack if you try to do a pair or something. There's no need to spam click a button when you do a heavy attack. You can see that you can delay the second part by a good amount, in case you ever needed to do something. You'll also notice that your heavy attack will heal you by 30% of your HP. For beginner, I recommend starting with a 2-hit combo followed by a 3-hit combo and then doing your heavy attack, which bring you back to full HP. And then you can do this again. It's very easy to remember, so you do 2-hit into a 3-hit heavy attack and just bring it back to full HP. It is just a lot easier to manage as a beginner, so you're not constantly trying to push for highest damage on the lowest HP. It is just a lot less riskier. When you push a boss enemy into their stagger state, you're gonna have enough time to fill up your entire bar by doing 3 of the free string combo, so you can just do that even if you're a beginner, and then do your heavy attack to recover HP. Make sure you're always spamming your combo even if you're not hitting anything, even in a boss fight, because you will always be able to build stacks even if you're not hitting anything. So it's a good idea to just be spamming your combo against the air in a fight, just so you can build stacks, and then you can go in and do a heavy attack when you find the opportunity to. And then we got Danjin ult. Danjin ult is just a very basic attack that does a lot of AoE fairy damage. Not really a lot to say about it, you just kind of use it whatever. Of course, we can't forget about Danjin intro and outro. While her intro is just a simple strike, remember that it will allow you to proc your skills. But more importantly is that Danjin outro will provide the next characters a 23% Havoc damage bonus. And this is really good for Havoc characters team like Havoc main characters or Tao Chi. For this reason, a very popular team in the China right now is running Danjin together with Havoc Rover, and you'll see me covering this a little bit later in the team rotation section. So again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe. When it comes down to using a echo on Danjin, one of my favorite echo to use is going to be the mushroom, because you can just drop it and it just fires the laser. It doesn't consume you any DPS uptime. The thing with Danjin is that you can always be attacking, so using something like the mushroom that doesn't transform you, it's just very easy to use. Otherwise, the Dreamless Echo is one of my go-to because it has a really good skill that does really good AoE damage. Or the Crownless Echo is extremely good as well because it increases your Havoc damage by 12%. Keep in mind the animation for the Crownless Echo is pretty long, so what you can do is just spawn it and then cancel it out, and this still gives you the 12% Havoc damage bonus as well as the Resonant skill damage bonus. Weapon wise, if you're able to obtain the standard 5-star weapon, it'll be the best for now, especially from the level 45 selectable box. If you haven't reached unit level 45, the Battle Pass sword is a really good weapon, but I don't really recommend picking this one up because there's a lot other nicer weapon in the Battle Pass. But otherwise, any attack weapon is gonna work. For now, I'm just using the free ranger weapon that you can get from the pre-registration bonus. When it comes down to your echo build, the typical 4-3-3-1-1 build will work. On the Havoc set, it's what you're gonna want to aim for. Your typical substat to aim for involve getting critical rate, critical damage, attack percent, but the other substat you want to aim for is mostly going to be heavy attack percent. Again, the main reason of this is because you can whiff your basic attack as well as your skill just to build stacks, and then just make sure you're going up and hitting your heavy attack. Therefore, heavy attack is more valuable than everything else. The last substat, if I have a choice, I'll choose energy recharge. I think energy recharge is just really good on every single character, mostly because of the time stop property. Since in this game, there's a time stop property where when you ult, the timer actually pauses. I mean, being able to spam ult is just going to be really beneficial when it comes down to taking down difficult challenge mode. A really popular team in the Chinese community right now is actually to run Havoc Rover together with Danjin. The main combo here is that the Dreamless Echo will do a lot more damage after the Havoc Rover caster ult. And you can cast your Dreamless Echo on your Havoc Rover and then immediately switch to Danjin and cast his Dreamless Echo again. Havoc Rover is actually one of the strongest characters in this game because his ults for some reason have insane scaling. His ults even at level 2 have 800% scaling, making this Havoc team one of the best team in the entire game. The main combo here is to do a rotation on Danjin to build an outro, and then you switch to Havoc Rover to do a massive burst damage. That is of course as a reminder that because Danjin outro provide massive damage Havoc deepen, which is really big ASA damage increase. But I'm not really a big fan of this team because it's more like a dual damage carry rather than a Danjin carry. Obviously, alongside we got Verena, the best healer, the best support, the best buffer in the entire game. Always really good to run with Danjin since Danjin is always constantly on low HP, so it will help give you survivability. Verena's biggest contribution is going to be coming from your second passive when you do unlock it at level 70, preventing yourself from dying one time, which with how low HP Danjin get all the time, it's going to come in so handy. Morphe as well as Taochi are really solid choice as well. When you do an intro on Taochi, she's able to instantly get free stacks, which will generate you a really big shield. That could be really useful for someone who is constantly on low HP like Danjin. And Morphe is just a really good sub DPS. He builds Ultra relatively quickly, which boosts your heavy attack damage, but more importantly is that his ult is just really good to be paired with Danjin together. As always, these are not the only character you can pair together. You can pair a character like Baiji for additional healing, or any other character as you see fit. Personally, my favorite team is actually just to run 2-member with Danjin and Verena. This allows me to give all the few time to Danjin to dish out insane damage while having Verena as a intro outro trigger and give him some buff. Danjin is a perfectly fine character even at sequence 0, but if you do have the chance to unlock her sequence, she can become a really monster character. Each one of her sequence is really good. For the most part, they all increase her damage by a significant chunk. Sequence 1 gives you 30% attack as long as you don't take any damage, because every time you take damage, she loses a stack. Sequence 2 is probably one of the best ones. It just straight up gives you another 20% damage. Sequence 3 increase your ult's damage by 30%. Sequence 4 increase her crit rate by 15% when you do a heavy attack. Sequence 5 allow your havoc damage to increase by 15%, but additionally give you another 15% when your HP is lower than 60%. So if you're ever playing a Sequence 5 Danjin, make sure you're only casting her ult when she's less than half HP. And finally, Sequence 6 just increase the attack of all your team member by 20%. You can see that each one of these is just straight up a raw damage gain, and so they're all really good to get if you can get your hands on them. I purposely kept my Danjin as Sequence 0 just to be a little more relatable. Overall, Danjin is a character that requires you to use a lot of skills, but if you're a high skill player, again like me, then you'll really enjoy Danjin because she is one of the characters that reward you in this game for dodging. Again, just a reminder, her dodge counter have higher scaling than her part 1 attack, so it's more beneficial to trigger your skill off your dodge counter. In addition to the fact that you literally get 20% extra damage on your skills when you do a dodge counter. Yes, you're rewarded for properly dodging in this game. That's crazy. When it comes down to a game like Wedding Wave, finding a suitable playstyle for you is the most important. So hopefully this guy was able to help. With that being said, I'll see you all next time. Bye bye. Have fun with Danjin in the basement.